Sure. Hi, this is Brian from B's Music Shop. I'm live at the 2023 Chicago Vintage and Custom Drum Show, and I'm here with Mike from Drumnetics. He has what I think might be a magic trick. Is this magic?
It could be considered magic. A lot of people have been calling it that. It's a magic pedal. But
Eric stared at it for a while and couldn't quite. He goes, I don't know what's going on here.
Right.
So why don't you explain this to us? This is fascinating.
well, thank you. This right here is just meant to be a demonstration of what the magnets, being a magnetically actuated bass drum pedal. So as you lift up, there's a magnet on the bottom side of the pedal board, which matches up with this pedal board, or base plate magnet, I mean.
Yeah.
So I just lift it up, drop it, pull this back, the magnet's on the cam.
Yeah.
So that's what the pedal's basically doing without the linkage mounted in with the two components there.
Yeah.
So it's just conveying like what the magnets are doing
Yeah.
as
great
the assembly
show,
is in place and this and that. So then once it's all together, with the linkage in place, then you've got your pull down, stop to the bass drum, let go. I mean, keep it going with your pattern that you're playing, everything.
And it feels, I mean, it's almost like your brain is like looking for a spring. I mean, it doesn't, one thing that I noticed when I was coming to the show, somebody told me I had to stop by and see this. This is one of the few, there was a handful of things that I was told you got to see, and I was told that this was one of them. And, you weren't even standing here when I first came up, and I just came up and I wanted to see what it felt like, and it has like that increased tension as you push down, just like you'd expect on a spring. Yeah, like it feels good, like it should,
Well, I tell a lot of people, like simply put, if you were to blow up a balloon, okay, and put that balloon between your hands and squish it, the sides are going to come out, but it's still going to be contained. But as soon as you let up on the pedal board, let go of the balloon, it's going to come back into shape of that field of repulsion, basically. It kind of gives a way of seeing it better than, because it's invisible.
And I'm guessing that you adjust it with this Allen key adjustment right here. So that's what, So how does that work?
They, as part of the adjustability of the magnets and the tension setting, if you will.
Yeah.
So right now the magnets are in the pedal board at an offset position. And then as you increase the magnetic repulsion by putting it forward, that's where you get the different feel, if you will, of the pedal.
A little stiffer.
Yeah. And it can be incremental. It doesn't have to be one or the other.
Yeah.
That's the beauty of these magnets. They're rare earth neodymium magnets. They're very strong, but they can be subtle in their strength. So you can go incrementally with the adjustment. Doesn't have to be one or the other.
Yeah. What led you from magnets to here? Like, how did you decide you wanted to make a kick drum pedal and use this like innovative idea?
It was just an idea. I mean, I had some pedals that would break down, different things. Nothing against springs at all, and just would wonder, what else is there that can be done? What else can be done? And as cliche as it might sound, the idea just popped into my head.
Yeah.
That's all it is, really. There's a little bit of a story behind that, but
Let's hear it. I want to hear it.
well, I'll just say it quickly.
Okay.
It occurred on 1,200 acres of wheatland in Montana.
Okay.
I have relatives out there. My dad was born there. He passed away, wanted his ashes spread out there. So I went to an uncle's farm, and one day just walking out on his property, the idea just popped into my head. That's where it was.
And then it's really amazing like how powerful magnets have gotten like the last 20 years. I know it's kind of a weird thing, or at least like mainstream. I'm sure that was around before, but I've always really, I have so many tools and things that now run on them that I just can't live without, that have a power to them that's almost unbelievable. And it wasn't super surprising to me to see it implemented in this way. I was just like, as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Well, thanks. I've been playing mine for years. It began with a Ludwig Speed King pedal.
As we all did traditionally.
Yes. I'm a Ludwig guy to the core, always have been. I love the other drums that are available, but there's a particular wherewithal with Ludwig that, is special to me.
Yeah.
Of course, the heroes, John Bottom, Alec Van Halen.
I know this is a direct drive pedal, which,
So, but that's where it started. I got the idea, and I thought, well, the Speed King pedal is a direct drive. It needs a direct drive.
Yeah.
I do have the
because the board has to push back off.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
But so there's a different. This was the first like idea implementation. This came later.
Yeah.
So I tried, with the magnets being underneath this point of actuation of the pedal. Anything that's not a direct drive is going to kink or buckle up.
Yeah.
So now with these, I experimented one time because the source, if you take this out, the source of the magnetic repulsion is above the pedal. So there's a YouTube video I took, I don't know what it was, just like rubber stripping with adhesion on it. I took this out, I just taped it to the pedal board, and it's coming, it's the next phase.
Wow.
I can do a chain or a strap drive pedal with the magnetic repulsion. I just got to work this out so it's not as much and it's more up here.
Yeah. So your machine, I'm assuming these are aluminum, so they're non-ferrous.
Yes,
but yeah, it's so did you have a background in machining, or where did you? I mean, nobody just has an idea in the middle of a field and ends up with something. That's not everybody's wheelhouse, you know. So there's something else there. Yeah. There's a path from here to there. But so you have a background in machining, or you just developed it and?
Yeah, well, it come up, and I worked with local guys, but that proved to be, a good, big pain in my butt. I was a little guy, couldn't get many, as far as like the components, quantities that they were looking for.
Yeah.
So, Grizzly Industrial puts out a manual machine. I came across a guy that put the CNC aspect to it, motors, put a computer, and
So you're milling these yourself?
I was, yeah.
Oh, yeah, you were,
So I would do these one by one.
And that's how you prototyped them? Just went through, oh, man.
Yeah, and then took orders, and been doing that for a long time. And then recently partnered with a little bit more established manufacturer.
Yeah, no, that's incredible. Yeah, the finish on them is just really good, and yeah, that's a long process of learning how to do that, and getting there to prototype it. I mean, you can tell it's a labor of love, and you put a lot of thought and effort into it.
It's been a long time. It took me a while to learn G code and all that stuff. I prototyped with. I've taught drums before too.
Okay.
And I had a student whose father dealt in plastic. So I asked Scott one day can I get some pieces to prototype on? So I walked into a shop on a Saturday. He gave me a box. I don't know how big it was. And he had all these shells. He's like, fill it up. So I actually do have parts that are not together. I have a completely plastic bass drum.
Yeah. That's fun, man. That's the stuff you keep forever. It reminds you of those things. But I love the double too. Can we talk about that real quick? That's just, you just took it and finished the idea over to make a full double pedal. So.
Yeah, it's all, like I say, I have no degree in engineering. I'm more of a tinkerer, and I'm an artist, so I can draw your portrait artist.
Yeah.
So it all just kind of combines, I guess, to just creative, process of thinking. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I just thought that everything that you see would just be a way it would work. I just kept trying things out.
Yeah.
I've got some guys asking about a double pedal that splits off into two singles. I do make one, have made one on my own as a sole proprietor. We just haven't gone into it. Basically wanted the standard stuff readily available. It was easier to just get all the models done, get the inventory on shelves, and then have assembly going.
Yeah, well, it's great. You made a really cool product, and I really appreciate you talking me through it today. Thanks, Mike.